Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Today I want to do a vlog on being yourself in the Philippines or becoming yourself in the Philippines. Okay? We've kind of discussed this a little bit in the past. I want to touch on it more for some of our newer viewers, because this is what we're all about on this channel. A lot of people, when they come here, and that includes myself, have kind of been hurt in the past. You know, we come over here with our baggage. And I tell people, leave that baggage home. I want to kind of touch on this a little bit more. One of the things that I love about the Philippines is this. When I wake up in the morning, I'm myself. I'm 100% me. You know, I don't have to worry about biting my tongue or being careful about things so much, to a certain extent anyway. When I was home, I worked in the school department. And it was rough there. You couldn't be yourself. Even after work, when you hung out with friends, people were kind of very forceful with their political beliefs and motivations. You had to be like them in order to be their friend. I didn't like that. That's not me. I was about being able to express your opinions and being okay with the other person's opinions too, and still be friends. In the world today, it's not like that back in the States. It's not like that in a lot of countries. It's not like that in the UK or Australia anymore either, from what I'm hearing. I hear the same thing pretty much worldwide. The Philippines kind of gives us a break from that. Am I still kind of political? Since being over here, I kind of backed off that a lot. I still follow politics. Don't get me wrong. I still even talk politics sometimes. I try to stay off it as much as I can, especially on the channel. Sometimes I kind of slip up a little bit and it does kind of tweak through. But I love everybody. Republican, Democrat, Independent, whoever you are. I respect you. You respect me. Don't try to talk me out of my beliefs. I won't try to talk you out of yours. That's the way I look at it. It's just called being cool with each other. The world needs to be kind of cool down and take a look at each other and just say, you know what? Why do I have to fight with this guy? Why can't I just love him as my brother? But no, people don't want to be that way. Over here, I find it a little bit different. Most of the people I hang out with are not expats. I do hang out with some expats over here, but I leave the political crap on the side. Sometimes they take it up, they'll talk about it, we'll have a little conversation about it, but we're cool about it in the end. If somebody tries to force it down my throat, I just no longer talk to them again. That's the way I look at it. But I try not to pick up religion and politics too much unless the person has like religious views as me. And then we can sit and talk and do whatever. You know, and that's our thing. If we agree to be like that, we can. You know, some people, do I agree with their religion or their politics? No. But I still want to keep the peace. That's what it's about. That's the best way. And people need to come to the conclusion that we all need to love each other despite our views. I know there's some messed up people out there. And there's some people that you just don't want to hang out with. Let's face it. I know quite a few. You know, there's a lot over here, and there's a lot more back home. And that goes for everybody in the world, no matter what your nationality is. There's some messed up people. And I try to stay away from those people just like everybody else. But I also know there's some damaged people that can be helped too. And I think the Philippines can be a good cure for some people. If you leave your crap on the tarmac back home. You know, start your life here. Become you. Become the person you were meant to be. You know, like I think it was the old Marine things. Be all you can be, or the Army or whatever it was. Be all you can be. Be you. You know, the Philippines can be a mess for some people, or it can be like a prescription from God for other people to fix your life. It just does. Coming here gave me a sense of freedom that I can't explain. I remember the first time I went to Belize, I had that sense of freedom down there. I loved it. The first time I got out of the country, I mean, I'd gotten out of the country before, don't get me wrong, but the first time I got out of the country kind of solo not attached to the military. Man, it felt good. I was like, what's so great about the United States when you have all this? People always build the United States up more than what it is sometimes. Not that I don't love the US, don't get me wrong. I do. It's my home country. But the Philippines has kind of taken me in under their wing too. I don't get involved in their politics. I don't want to get involved in their politics. It's a mess. That's all I'll say. That's why I stay away from it. But part of becoming me was kind of putting certain personality traits that I have to the side. Because you build up these personality traits that are bad for you sometimes. And you have to kind of pick and choose which parts of you love and you like and you want to be and make you good, and pick out the bad ones and say, I'm going to trash that. And when you get over here, you know the best part about the Philippines? You got the time to figure that out. And that's substantial. That's the best part about the Philippines is that you got the time to figure things out over here. It's kind of miraculous in a way. Because when you're retired, you got a lot of time on your hands. Make the best of it. Fix yourself, correct yourself, help people, do things, build a better person within you. Whether you're a Christian and it means reading the Bible, or whether you're just a person that might not be religious and you just want to fix yourself, at least try to make yourself better. You know, in whatever way, shape, or form it may be. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you become the person you want to be. That good person. There's grumpy old people over here. And sometimes I look at them and I laugh and I say, man, if that guy only knew the power of like love and happiness, he wouldn't be who he is. I see a lot of people like that over here. They're grumpy old men. And it's usually these guys that hit their 70s or 80s over here. They get kind of grumpy sometimes. I'm not saying everybody in their 70s and 80s are grumpy. I hope I never get grumpy when I get old. Sometimes it has to do with mental decline and things like that. I understand that. Sometimes dementia and Alzheimer's can also cause that. It can cause people to get kind of grumpy or delusional or whatever, and people around them don't realize that they're having those issues. Whenever I see somebody like that, I always take that into consideration. That maybe that person has some issues that I don't know about and other people don't know about. We've had expats over here that had Alzheimer's and dementia dilemmas over here, and people just dropped them off at the hospital and left. It happened down in Cebu before. I think the guy had dementia or something. I don't recall. He had some sort of thing going on with mental decline or whatever. I'm not sure what it was, but he had that issue. And I don't want to say what it was because I don't know what it was. But we've had that before. It's happened more than once here before, where people will drop an expat off and say, I'm not going to take care of this anymore. It's not my monkeys, not my circus. And even though it might have been somebody that they loved earlier, they realize that they can't handle that anymore and they can't take that on them anymore. So they leave it. They leave that issue. And that's why I look at everybody over here and say, what's this guy's game? What's this guy's issue? Is he angry because of his past? Is he angry just because that's who he is? Or what have you? But when we come here, let's be who we are. Not that old grumpy guy, I don't want to be an old grumpy guy when I get older. I want to be a guy with a big smile on my face. And when my day comes, I want to be smiling on the way out the door. I don't want to have a big grumpy look on my face or whatever. I want to be happy and be surrounded with my family loving me. And that's the way we all should be. And a lot of guys come over here and they don't take advantage of the amount of love that Filipinos can give them here. And I'm not talking about lovers or girlfriends or whatever, or wives. I'm talking about people around them. I have so many people around me that have become my family that aren't even blood relatives by any way. They're all just Filipinos. And I love those people to death. And you know what? I'd go to bat for them 7 days a week if they got sick and try to help them out if I could, in any way, shape, or form that I possibly could. I know sometimes I can't help people, sometimes I can. But if I have the ability, I'm there for them. And you know what? They'd be there for me. Even if it was just to visit me in the hospital, to let me know that somebody cares about me and loves me too. We all have to become that person. We need to become more Filipino. Because that's the way most Filipinos are. They're loving people. Every time somebody in my girlfriend's family gets sick or dies or something, she's all about going to the funerals or to the hospital just to check them out and make sure everything's okay. She's kind of hardcore sometimes with some people. But you know what? In the end, she's there for you when she's needed. And she's there in a very loving way too. She loves people in her family that are good to her. And I see that with her. And we kind of need to be like that sometimes. We need to be like Filipinos more. Filipinos got it going on. Majority of them. There are the scammers out there, people like that. Those are the rough ones. Those are the ones you stay away from. Poverty does that to people. We can't hold that against them all the time. I know it's wrong what they do when they scam people. But look at the flip side. What would you do? I don't know if I would go out scamming people if I was poor and hungry. I don't know what I would do. But I don't put it past myself that I might steal food from somebody or steal food from a store or something. I'm not sure what I would do if I was really, really hungry to the point where I was starving and I was watching my family hungry. So some of these women, they do what they need to do. And in some ways, I kind of respect them because they'll do whatever they have to do to feed their families. In some ways, I don't respect them for doing that. But I do get it. I get both sides. You always have to look at the flip side of the coin and see what's going on there before you'll just look at the top side. Otherwise, you don't get the full view. And we need that in life today. And we need to become more like Filipinos. Find ourselves. I remember when I was going through a divorce, my ex-wife told me she was leaving because she wanted to find herself. And she left me. And it kind of left me in a dilemma. I didn't know what to do at first. I didn't know how to feel. I was mixed up, confused. But you know what? She kind of left me in a better way. I hate to say it. Am I still pissed at her for what she did? Yeah, I am, a little bit, but I let it go. I'm over it. I'm done. I moved on. But you know what? Because of that, I found myself. I was already planning on leaving the country with her at some time in the future. She didn't seem to be on the same track as me. She wasn't walking down the same road as me for sure. She had different ideas and we were never on the same page. And if she was, she could have got what she wanted, but she just kind of went her own way. But when she left, it kind of took care of me and my needs even more so. It was hard for me at first. It took me a while to get back on my feet. As I told you guys, I didn't know how to handle it because of the way she left was kind of in a terrible way. She left in a kind of a nasty way. I still forgave her for it. I let it all go. But in the end, she left me a gift. Because look where I'm at now. I probably would have had to wait till I was 60 or 58 to retire. And I'm 58 now. But I mean, I'm glad that I did retire at 55. And like I said, I became myself. I am who I am now. Thankful to everything that happened. Everything that happened to me in my life got me where I am now. So I don't have any hatred or I don't look back at things as always being bad. Because some of those bad things too that happen to you also kind of make you who you are and they kind of get you where you're at. So when you get over here and you look back at your life, you know what you're going to say? If it wasn't for all those things that happened, I wouldn't be who I am today and I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for all those things that happened. Good and bad. And that's the way we need to look at it, guys. God bless. Take care. I love you guys.